Good morning. Welcome to this Friday morning session. Sit comfortably. Sit tall. Lengthen the sides of the trunk and focus on the navel area. Lift it away from the floor. Lift the sternum slightly away from the navel. Lift the shoulder blades. Lift your ears. Lift the crown of the head. Take the arms out to the side. Open the chest. Turn the palms to face forward. Take the wrists slightly behind you. Move the shoulder blades in. Maintain the lift of the navel, the lift of the shoulder blades, and the extension of the arms. Fold the elbows in towards the sides of the trunk and join the palms together. Press a thumb on the sternum, the other four fingers away. Close your eyes and focus on the breath. Chant Om 3 times. Take a slow, deep breath in. Om. Slowly open your eyes. Release your hands. Extend your legs out straight and change the cross of your legs. Press your fingertips alongside the trunk. We've been practicing the forward extensions this week. But remember, forward extensions are supposed to be a very calming pose, a very quieting pose. It assists with lowering blood pressure and tension by bringing quietness to the body and the mind. So we've learned the structure of the pose. Today we will find how to release in the pose. Take the arms out, raise up the arms. Let the palms, spread the fingers, lift the wrist, and take the upper arm slightly behind the ear and feel the openness and space in the chest. Now breathe into the area. Last week we focused on the vertical lines running up the spine and up the side of the trunk. Can you find those two lines now from the hip, running through the armpit, from the armpit to the middle finger? Can you extend those lines? The line running from the base of the spine to the crown of the head, can you lengthen that line and focus on breath in, full breath out, without shortening those lines. Each time you breathe in, can you lengthen and expand those lines, especially from the hip to the middle finger. Your fingertips beside you. Open the chest and place your hands cupped on your knees. Breathing in, draw the chest forward, draw the sternum forward. Breathing out, take the navel and sternum back. Breathing in, draw it forward. Breathing out, take it back. Feel the shoulder blades working as you breathe in, draw the chest forward, and now look up. And stay there. Fix the shoulder blades, feel the length of the side of the body, and lift the crown of the head. Lift your ears and Feel the action of the concave back with the open chest and freedom in the area of the heart and the lungs. And come to sit. But once again, take your fingertips beside you. Breathe in and look up. Lift the navel away from the sternum. Lift the sternum away from the navel and look up. With this action in this pose, find your breath and become quiet in this pose. Take your knees apart, big toes touching, and walk your hands forward. Keep a support in the center of the mat in case you need to rest your head. Walk your hands forward. Place your hands on the blocks or keep your fingertips cupped and look up. Once again, lengthening the navel away from the floor, lengthening the sternum away from the navel and look up. Spend a few moments in this pose and feel the quietness in the body and the mind. Press the tops of the feet down, engage the thighs to anchor you in the posture, and extend and lift the spine. Walk your hands forward. Maintaining the concave action of the back, release your forehead onto the support or the floor. And now soften the breath. Release the navel to the floor. Release the sternum to the floor. And release the armpits. Become soft. Become quiet. And now focus more on the exhalation. It's still a forward extension. You have the length of the trunk. Move the groins back slightly and settle into the pose. For the quietening and restorative poses, we hold them for slightly longer because we want the pose to work for us. So feel the pose working for you. Feel the subtle changes that are happening and that you are becoming quieter in the pose. Your hands back. Place your fingertips in front of the knees and gaze up. Focus on the length of the chest, the width of the chest, and those two lines running from the hip to the armpit, and the line running from the base of the spine to the crown of the head as you look up. Lines fixed, keep those lines long. Release your gaze forward and come to stand. Come to stand. Stand with the feet wide apart. Outer edges of the feet parallel to each other. So take your heels out, draw your toes in so that the thighs roll in, creating space for the sacral area and width in the sacral area. Breathe the arms, a full stretch at the armpit, and now box at the elbows. A full breath in, lift the navel, lift the sternum, and now lift and extend those lines from the hip to the elbow, and from the base of the spine to the crown of the head, lengthen them. As you breathe out, hinge at the hips and fold forward. A gentle fold forward. Feel the energy running up the legs as you press the feet down, up the shins, up the thighs, into the hips, and the energy is softening you into the forward extension. If you can, release your fingers onto the floor, release your head onto the floor, and become quiet. Place your hands on your hips. breathe in to come up. Option 2 would be to take a chair. Place your support or cushion on the chair. And stand with Prasarita once again. Feet down to anchor the pose. Once again, a concave back. As you breathe out, hinge at the hips, fold forward, and release your forehead onto the chair. Feel the extension of the front body, the strength of the legs, and now feel the prana, feel the energy of the pose. Release the muscular action because your head is rested. Release the skeletal action and become soft in the pose. You want to lengthen the trunk, move the chair further forward, bring more length into the trunk, and become quiet. Soften the abdomen. Feel the prana, the energy running up the legs, into the trunk, and the forehead becoming quiet. Release the muscles of the back. Focus on the exhalation. Uncomfortable for you, you can place your hands on the chair as well and rest the forehead. Same would apply to the ottoman. Or if you're standing with your elbows folded, that's perfectly fine. Spinal muscles. Release. Place your hands on the edge of the chair. And once again, with a concave back, look up. Gaze forward, toe heel, walk your legs in so that they are hip width apart. Now remember, we have limited time, but at home you can practice for a longer period of time. With your feet hip width apart, option 1 would be to go down with your elbows, option 2 would be to use the chair. Breathe in, raise up your arms, box at the elbows, hinge at the hips and fold forward. Let the weight of your elbows draw you down. Feel the energy running up the legs, into the hip, down the trunk, into the elbows. If you want to and are more comfortable, release your fingertips onto the floor. But soften the trunk, especially the head and the face becomes quiet. You can rest your fingertips onto the floor. Or if you are using blocks, rest your fingertips onto the blocks, either the long side or the short side, and become quiet. The work is to quieten the trunk, especially the head and the face. If you're using a chair, you breathe out, release, and place the crown of the head on the chair. And you can rest your hands onto the floor or onto the seat of the chair, whatever works for you, and become soft. Once again, feel the energy running up the legs, into the hip, and feel the trunk becoming soft. Gentle blood flow to the head, and the heart is rested. A restful posture, excellent for high blood pressure, stress, and anxiety. Place your hands onto the chair. Gaze forward to release the back. Place your hands on your hips. Breathe in to come up. So you will find that the dynamic has changed. It's the same pose that we've been doing, but by bringing softness, we are able to bring a quietness to the mind. The same would apply to seated poses. Sit on a support, either your foam cushion or a block. Remember, you have to be comfortable and you have to be aligned. So whichever support you use, sit tall, lift the navel away from the floor, lift the sternum away from the navel. Hold on to your support, whether it's the ottoman or the chair. If you're choosing not to use a support, hold on to your big toe and look up. If you're using a support, extend the trunk first by holding onto the top rung of the chair. Lift the navel away from the floor, lift the sternum away from the navel. Feel the openness of the chest. And lastly, release your forehead to the base of the seat of the chair. The length of the trunk, lift the navel away from the floor, lift the sternum. The armpits are slightly stretched. Now release the muscular activity, release the skeletal activity. Feel the two lines extending from your hip to your heels and from your hip through your armpits into your wrist. You can choose seat or proper forward to give you more of an extension. That's perfectly fine. And now soften into the pose. Become soft, become quiet, and focus on just the exhalation. Just slightly longer. If the mind wants to run away, bring it back to the breath. But soft. The mind is quiet and the breath is soft. Release your hands onto the chair and fold your legs in for butterflies. Fold the legs in for Baddha Konasana, or if you're comfortable in Upavesta Konasana, it's perfectly fine. And once again, release your forehead onto the chin. Chair or the top rung of the chair, bring a quietness to the head, quietness to the face, and just melt into the posture. Let the posture work for you. Slowly come up. The other option would be Janu Sirsasana. Come to sit in Upavista Konasana and move your chair to one side. Let's move it to the right leg. Fold the left leg in. And place your hand on the chair, breathe in and look up. As you breathe out, reach for the top rung of the chair and release your forehead onto the seat of the chair or the ottoman, or hold onto your foot slightly. Feel the openness of the pelvic area. The legs are strong, but the trunk becomes soft. Breathe in, go up. And let's change sides. Holding the right, straighten the left, take the chair over. You can practice for a longer period at home. Hold up the top rung of the chair or the seat of the chair, whatever is comfortable for you, and release the trunk. Rest the forehead lightly, don't press it onto the chair. And now focus on just the exhalation. Forward extensions can be very calming, very quietening, especially at the end of the day. They're also excellent for insomnia. So practice in the evening is also good. Breathe in to come up and release. Place your chair or ottoman, the front edge of your mat, and come to lie flat on your back. And raise up your leg. This can be done against the wall as well, for legs up. Keep your legs straight. It brings relief to the lower back. Hold on to the legs of the chair to prevent the chair from moving. And now feel the blood flowing to the lower back. Release the lumbar spine and the sacral area completely to the floor. Release the trunk to the floor, soften the abdomen. Release your shins onto the seat of the chair. Ideally, your thighs should be at 90 degrees to the floor, allowing blood flow to roll down from the area of the knees into the hip and into the abdominal area. Turn your palms to face up. Now feel the lumbar spine and sacral area completely release to the floor. For those of you that have lower back issues, this is excellent for you. There's a release of the muscles. At the same time, there's increased blood flow to the area. Now focus on just the exhalation and become soft. Become soft and quiet. You still have the extension of the front body because you're on the floor. But focus on the lumbar spine and the sacral area releasing up to the floor. An option would be to come into Baddha Konasana, so join the soles of your feet and take your knees out. But many people find that just resting the shins on the chair is perfectly fine. Baddha Konasana brings an openness to the hip and the pelvic area. At the same time, releasing the lumbar spine and the sacral area. To the right side of the body releasing to the floor. Feel the left side of the body release to the floor. Your kidneys, which are at the back of the body, released to the floor. Your spine completely released. And feel your trunk, feel your back spread to the floor, releasing to the floor. Shoulder blades to the floor. Right shoulder blade, left shoulder blade, right trapezius muscle, left trapezius muscle, right upper arm, left upper arm, right elbow, left elbow. Release completely to the floor. Soften the abdomen. Feel the abdominal organs releasing to the floor. Feel the navel release to the floor. You can change your leg position, place your shins back onto the seat. Take it slightly wider. Lower back settled. With both hands, draw both your knees in towards the chest. spend a few moments there. Feel the softness of the abdomen. Chin. And move your seat away. And extend into Shavasana. And feel that the lumbar spine, the hip, and the sacral releasing to the floor. Both your right side and your left side releasing to the floor. The full length of the spine releasing to the floor. Top jaw, release the bottom jaw. Feel the brain becoming smaller, feel the mind becoming wiser. Shoulder blades release to the floor and become soft, become quiet. As now focus on just the exhalation. Feel the body completely melted and released to the floor. The mind is quiet. The body is quiet. Place both your hands on the abdomen. Raise up your knees one by one, keeping your feet flat on the floor. Raise up the right arm all the way past the right hip. Roll over onto your right side and become soft. Become quiet. Press with the left hand to come to sit. Eyes closed. And feel the lift of the navel, the lift of the sternum, the lift of the shoulder blades. But this time bring your quietness. Release the top jaw, release the bottom jaw. And become quiet. Become rested. And find that your inner being is now quiet. Absolutely serene. Join the palms together. Take a slow. As you breathe out, release the chin to the chest. As you breathe in, raise up your head. Release your hands and open. Have a lovely weekend. Thank you for joining this session. See you on Monday.